Good afternoon, fret friends, and I say afternoon and look at it. It's 1600 hours just gone and it's getting dark. How rubbish is that? Anyway, new project, so don't have time to complain. I have a new project in at the moment. I've already appraised this guitar with the owner. Now the owner of this guitar has also bought me two other guitars and he's bought 3 Stratocasters in. And 2 of his guitars have been done on the previous video to this one, a different video. But this one is being done on its own because the other 2 only wanted a setup. This one needs a complete fret level. I'm going to show you the guitar. And there it is. And there you go. And it's a Strat. And what else do I know about it? I've got no idea. Big brass block. Now one of his Strats is a Japanese one. Has this one got a new neck? I think this one's got a new neck on it. I'm not sure. It says got a new neck. That's why it's ever getting a fret level. It looks suspiciously like one of the ones I got not too long ago. But I'm not going to say where I bought it from because I've been told that this is not from the same place. So it just looks like it. I think he paid 80 quid for this neck, but it's like any new neck that you seem to buy on eBay. They always need a fret level, and this is no different. It needs a fret level. So I'm going to fret level this. I just wanted to get something on camera right now just to show the guitar. A bit of dust on there, we'll wipe all that off. The guitar is also going to have a complete setup. It does have lace sensor pickups, brand new, I imagine, Graphtec saddles, nice big brass blocks. So there's been no money spared, no expense spared on this guitar. I'll be giving it a complete setup. I'll be recutting the nut. I'll be leveling, recrowning and polishing the frets. Be checking the electrics. And I'll be setting the guitar up from scratch. Strings we will be going with will be Elixir 1046s, nano webs. He sent me 3 sets for all 3 of his guitars. The reason I'm doing this video now before it gets too dark is I can now crack on with this job tonight. I'm not going to film anything in this light, you know, but I do want to get started on this guitar. So what I will likely do tonight is I'm going to remove the neck. I will get the neck set straight. I'll remove the nut. I may have to replace the nut. We'll see about that later. I'll get the neck set straight. We'll go across with not straight edge, make sure the neck's straight. Once the neck is absolutely straight, I will find out which frets need work. I'll go across with fret level, fret rocker, blah, 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 blah. Boing. And I'll determine which frets need work. But I'm going to recrown the whole lot anyway. Level the whole lot and recrown the lot anyway. So I will I'm going to remove the tuners. I'll get this set on, I'll bolt this in. I'll remove the neck plate. I'll bolt this neck onto a piece of 30mm MDF and we'll get it all level and set, get the tuners off, get it all perfectly straight, and I'll be able to level it on that MDF board rather than on the neck jig over there. So I'm just explaining that now so I can actually crack on with that. Whatever I get done tonight, I get done tonight, and I shall come back and show you what needs to be done again tomorrow. The reason I'm doing that is if I just stop filming now, I don't film anything. I'm not going to film anything later in this light. I'm going to look for some better lighting though for this workshop because I need better light. I can work in the light, but I can't really film in the light. So what I'm going to do is look for some better lighting. I'm going to crack on, do what I can tonight. I will show as much as I can. If I deem it that I need to come back, I come up against a problem and I need to come back and film something, I will make an exception of filming in this light. But otherwise, just check back any of my videos. You know how I do fret levels. Everyone knows how I do fret levels. I will just get this strapped onto a piece of MDF using my neck plate. I'll show you the piece of MDF. There it is. That neck will be bolted onto there. We'll get perfectly straight, and I'll do the leveling on this piece of MDF. It's just a great way of doing it. I shall come back in the morning, show you what progress, if any, I made. Failing that, if I don't make any progress on this tonight, because I've still got 2 other guitars I'm working on right now. If I don't make any progress on this, then I can film everything in the morning, can't I? But yeah, so stay tuned. Just wanted to show you the guitar. I imagine it will be a Fender. I don't know, I can't remember much. He bought 3 guitars in. I'm not going to remember every single thing he told me. While I was here, I appraised all 3 guitars, told him what I think needs doing, what I'm going to do. I haven't stuck to my guns. On this one, it's a fret level and complete setup. The other 2, when I priced him up for basic setups, have actually been a lot more work than I realised. One's had a fret replaced and blah blah blah. One's virtually had a nut replaced. I'm not charging for that. I've already mentioned that in the other video, so don't worry about that. Let's concentrate on this guitar. It's coming for a complete fret level, complete setup. I will do what I can tonight. I will come back and give you an update in the morning. Good morning guys, it is 6:30 a.m. I have been in this workshop since, believe it or not, 4:30 a.m. I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. Well, it wasn't I couldn't sleep, I did sleep, but I woke up about 4:15. I thought, I'm not going to go back to sleep. So I've got up and I've been working for a couple of hours, and I didn't see it because the light's not much better than it was yesterday when I said I won't film anymore. But I'm going to film a little bit more because I've moved on a bit with this neck, and I've dismantled the guitar, removed the neck, removed the tuners, blah 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 blah. Tuners, by the way, just want to show, when I remove vintage type tuners from a guitar, I always label them up so I can put them back in the exact same position as when they come off. Here you go, E and a G there, blah blah blah. And again, this neck on this guitar was shimmed, so I imagine all these guitars that Adam has bought in all have new necks. Anyway, like I say, I've moved on. I've removed the tuners, removed the neck, and this neck needs a lot of work. And there you go, and you will see some black marker pen on the frets, and those are the areas of the frets that have high spots. And over 11 frets, that's half of the frets by the way, this neck has 17 high spots on the frets. So it's pretty much as bad as anything I've ever had in. They shouldn't need this many frets to it, but it's no wonder that the guitar doesn't play right when you've got 11 high frets with 17 high spots. I'm going to take the neck plate and bolts. I'm going to bolt this to a piece of 30mm MDF. I'm going to get it set absolutely level, and I'm going to go across with the fret rocker so you can see. I'll show you which frets are high, how high they are, and why we need to do a fret level. In hindsight, these frets are really quite low. It might be an idea to do a refret. I'm going to put that to the owner of the guitar and say, look, you consider having a refret, because I'm going to measure these frets and they look to be just under a millimetre. And it's a false economy. If I'm levelling these, if I level all these frets and recrown, I'm not going to have a lot of material left to recrown. But the thing is, if I do that, you're only going to get about 2 or 3 years worth of play out of these frets. Whereas if I do a refret with 18% nickel silver fret wire, you are going to get an absolute minimum of 10 years. I would imagine even 20 years of play, because I always put high fret wire on and hard fret wire. And even if it only lasts 10 years, you can re-skim everything and re-crown. So you're going to get another 10 years out of it. That might be a better idea. I will text, I can't text him this early in the morning, 6:30, that's too early. But I do have another one of his guitars in, which I'm going to be working on. It will take me about 2 hours anyway, so I'm going to leave this for a couple of hours. I'm not going to leave it for a couple of hours. I'll get it on the piece of MDF and I'll level the frets anyway, and I'll see what I think once I've got them levelled. If I think there's enough fret, but will just be enough fret to work on. It's just, I might just recommend a refret on that. Bear with me a few minutes and I will come back to you. So guys, we've got the camera in such a position where we can see that the neck, see the whole neck. Now it may not look straight on there, but I absolutely guarantee that it is straight. We're going to take a not straight edge, place it over the frets, and there you go. Just bring you there. There you go. Now you can see the whole neck. And the neck is straight, no gaps anywhere under here, which is perfect. And we're going to go across with fret rocker, G&W fret rocker, 4 lengths. This enables us to go across 3 frets at a time anywhere on the board, and you see how it works. 3 frets at a time anywhere. That's why it has 4 different lengths. Now this is laser cut, milled perfectly flat. This is my favourite. This is not a cheap £5 one off eBay. This is 15 quid. And it's not because it's expensive, it makes it better. It's better because it is laser cut and absolutely straight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go across 3 frets at a time, and if we get to one that's high, like this one for instance, it will rock. You understand how it works? So I'm going to go across all of the frets. I've already marked off the areas that are high. We're going to start this one. I'm going to measure or check 3 areas: the centre, the far side and the near side. And the first one, centre's fine. Listen. 2 areas on that one. I've already marked them off. Next one, far area, far side, centre, near side's okay. This one, near side is high, centre is high. See, I just changed there for the length, swap from that full length, and it just fits to the shorter length. Next fret is fine. Next fret, outside's good, middle. So far we have 4 high frets. These ones are okay. Okay. High on the edge. Everywhere else is okay. This one, okay. High on the outside, or inside to me. High, okay. High, okay. Very slightly high. Nothing major there. Slightly high. Very high there. Gets harder to hear the shorter length of a rocker you go. High one here. And on this side. Last one. Very high. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 frets with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 high spots over 11 frets. So what I am going to do, I'll take a leveling beam and find it. Not quite there, I know where it is. It's under the bench. A leveling beam. This is a piece of 2" by 1" steel box section with the top edge and the bottom edge both milled perfectly flat. And on one side I have 240 grit sandpaper, and on this side 400 grit sandpaper. And the 240 grit will remove the main material I need to remove. The 400 grit will smooth it off and remove some of the scratching. What I will do first is I will go across these frets with a flat file just to get them close to where they need to be. Then I'll finish off with the leveling beam like so. And what we will do is we will follow the radius. And once we start hitting the frets that don't need leveling, once we removed all the black pen, what we'll do is we'll cover every single fret in marker pen, and then we'll come across and we'll do the lot with the 400. And once all of the marker pen is removed, we know that all the frets are level with each other. So I'm going to get a flat file, I'm going to commence with the work, and I shall come back. By the way, when I do the leveling, I will not be leaving the neck and fingerboard clear like this. I'll be taping up between the frets so we don't get any dust under anywhere, or we don't damage. I mean, just to make sure we're not going to damage the fingerboard anyway. But we need to tape it up anyway for when we crown the frets later. I'll explain more of that when I've got it done, because it will be much easier for you to understand. So I'm just finishing off the final leveling of the frets, and you'll see they all have silver tops. And I'm going across with 400 grit, following the radius. And you'll see I don't have the fingerboard taped up, not necessary right now. It will be when I polish the frets, obviously. One little spot here. It's a matter of keeping it smooth, not pressing too hard, letting the beam do the work. And I'm just going to clean up the board, push it better, I think. What we're going to do is we're going to go across with the fret locker to make sure that all of the frets are level. You're not really going to hear anything, you don't need to, you just need to well, I'll just check this. Take my word for it, these are beautiful. So we have all of the frets levelled. Now I was a little bit worried that these frets are a little bit too low. I just have enough material left there to crown them. I think it would have been a slightly better economy to refret this neck, but it's something we can look at in a year's time. I'll put that to the owner. These frets are beautiful. Now what we're going to need to do after this, we're going to need to re-crown these frets, because what we've done is we've flattened them on the top. I'll explain what a crown is in a second. Be easy to show you. But these frets are now all level. So what we've done is we've levelled all of the frets, and because we've filed across the top, we've put scratches in that way. We've also, looking across here, we have now flattened the fret, and we need to put that crown back in, because they are crowned this way, because what we need is minimal contact between the top of the fret and the bottom of the string, because if you've got a wide flat fret, it's going to create buzz. So what we need to do is, where it's flat, like I say, where it's flat, we need to put the crown back, and I'm going to do that in a moment. But what I need to do is, before I do that, I'm going to need to tape up the spaces between on the outside of the fret. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just show you how I do that. I'm going to show you. Now I have the fingerboard all taped up, and the frets are all covered in black marker. What I'm going to do is, I'm now going to crown the frets. By crown I mean because we've levelled and we've gone flat, we need to put that crown back in across this length. And I've got a few files to help me do this. My favourite one is this one. I've had this a few years. It's quite a coarse file, but it has 3 edges, and each edge on here has been ground flat smooth, so when I come to work a fret, it's not going to damage the fingerboard. I still tape up anyway, because I need it taped up for when I do the polishing later. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to explain how I'm going to do it. I'm going to move the camera in a second, but I'm going to explain how this works. When I'm crowning a fret, I'm going to start vertical, and this is the far side of the fret, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to roll over, roll over, roll over. See, I'm rolling towards the camera, and I'm going to start creating that arc on the far side. And when I come, then I'll turn over, do this, and I'll do this side, and I'll arc the file away from the camera, and I'll create the arc on this side. So what we're going to do is, we're going to build up, and we're going to start filing the edges away until we start building that crown. Once we've finished that, I'm going to go to a similar sort of file, but a smoother one. This is probably a number 2 cut. This is probably it's probably number 1 or 2 cut. This is probably number 4 cut. Well, let's explain it this way. That's quite a coarse file, not super coarse, but quite coarse. This one is fine. This is probably a number 3, and we're going to finish with that one. And once I've done that, I'm going to come in with a profiling file. And all I do with this one is, I could do it just with this one if I wanted to, but I prefer to use a 3-edge file because I've always used one. But this will remove any burrs and give it a file, make the shape more even. So I'm going to just move the camera just a little. I'll get one in the middle. I think I'm pretty good there. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do this one, first one. And like I say, I'm just going to go across, and I'm going to start leaning the file toward the camera in a second. There you go. And just keep filing. And take your time, nice and steady. We don't want to be slipping with the file, scooting across the top of it and scratching the fret. And occasionally wipe the file and just come across it in long strokes, because it only cuts on the forward stroke anyway, this file. And you'll see, you'll probably not see where you are, but you will see when I start this side. And I'm now going to start rolling away from the camera. Back to this, and you now see I have a thin black line across the top of this fret. And I'm going to try and get it down to about 1/3 of a millimetre, 1/4 of a millimetre. I'm going to change file. We always wipe a file between, well, we always wipe a file. Every time we use a file, we wipe it, because we don't want to get any, because you get little filings trapped in the cutting area and it will cause more scratches. But anyway, you see there, And we've got that line now nice and thin. White file, ready for next time. We've got a lovely thin line down the centre of that fret. What that means is we've not touched the top of a fret, just the edges. And then we'll come in with a profiling file, 2mm side, and we're just going to remove any burrs, get the edges nice and rounded, and just across the whole fret. Just to even everything out, give it a nice straight profile, and that is that one done. And we've not moved anything off the top. And what we do is we always check once we've done one, just to see if it's changed anything, and it's not. The relationship to that fret next door is still exactly the same. We're going to do one more, because explaining it takes me twice as long when I'm explaining it, so I'm just going to work on this one. Sometimes I use my fingers just to touch the edge of the file, just to keep it in place, because this one does tend to slip. And again this side. Again, profiling file. Edges, edge, and reprofile. Nice and smooth, just to remove any burrs, any unevenness. And there you go, again a thin black line down the centre. This should not have altered anything, and what I always do is I check the fret I've done, and I normally check one behind. In fact, when I get further along I check one behind, one in front, just to make sure we've not altered the height of anything, and we haven't, and that's fine. And I'll do this, I've got 19 more to do, so I'm going to turn the camera off, I'm going to scoot on, get this done, and I'll come back and show you the next part of the process, which will be the polishing. I did say I wasn't going to come back tonight video or anything else, but I just wanted to get this on camera before I peel the tape off, because I have finished polishing my frets, and it is about, what time is it, 6:15 PM, so I'm about ready for finishing. And there you go. And okay. You know, it's a bit dirty, the fingerboard, well the tape's really dirty, but look at the frets. They are really highly polished, absolutely beautiful. Just wanted to get that on camera. I'm got a bit of more coming. That's all right. I'm done for the day now. I'm going to get rid of that glove. Our policies was with 5 different grits of sandpaper from 800 to 2000 grit. Finished off with steel wool. Looks fabulous. I'm going to leave that tape on. I'm going to leave this overnight. And first thing in the morning, I'll get the tape off, clean the fingerboard. I can glue the nut on. Once the nut's glued on, we'll get some strings on. I can start getting the thing set up. So I am done for the day. Signing off. Check back soon. So good morning, fret friends. We finally have the guitar completed, and I got it completed before I thought I would, before schedule. I expected to get it done by lunchtime, early afternoon today, and we're done already, and it is just after 9:30 AM. And I did have a few problems. Let's just show you the guitar. Great looking thing, isn't it? And there the frets are levelled, recrowned and polished. And it's beautiful. Tuners back on in the order that came off. I do like this 2-string tree design. Strat, 2 string trees, brilliant. I did have a couple of problems with the neck. The neck is shimmed, and there are 2 shims there, see there, under the neck. And I couldn't get the saddles low enough when I first strung it up, and I thought, it's a bit odd. And I did notice the neck is leaning a little bit backwards up here, just a little bit. So I thought, well, first I tried to remove one shim. That made it worse. I put a shim back in. It was still, I wasn't quite able to get low enough at first. And I thought, hang on a minute, what I need to do is these shims, I need to angle one back just slightly like a cheese wedge, just to bring this up. But I ended up not doing that. I just got it back on, tightened it up proper, and I've just managed to get enough adjustment on the saddles. Another problem with this guitar is that the saddles are a little bit too wide for the bridge, and it means that the strings, let's hold it with this hand, they're going splaying outwards that way at the edges, and it means the strings are a little bit closer to the edge of the fingerboard or the fretboard than I would like, but it still plays absolutely fine. Another bad thing about these guitars, well, not a good thing, is the truss rod adjuster is here, and I've had to take this neck off no less than 3 or 4 I think I've done it 4 times to get the truss rod right, because you can only adjust it in there, so you have to loosen the strings right off, take the neck off, adjust it, put it back on, tighten up again and see if you've got enough relief. So with this one, because the neck has had a complete fret level, and it's basically testing my skills anyway, what I've done is I've left the neck a little bit straighter. There is not a lot of relief in this neck at all. There is about 0.15 millimeters at 9th fret. I'd normally go 0.25, so there's little relief, very, very small amount of relief. But the guitar plays buzz free all up and down the neck, and that's testament to what a good job I do when I'm leveling frets. So the frets have been completely leveled, redressed, recrowned and polished. The guitar looks fantastic. At the end of the day, it's all about playability. I've played it, I've done the intonation, I've done a complete setup on it as well. I refitted the original nut this morning. There was a gap under the nut which I didn't like, so all I did was dropped in some, I always say dust, bone dust or anything from a man-made nut, you know, like a tusk nut. If I'm filing one down, I always say dust. I've got a bag of it, and I tell you, if a drug squad come around and pick that bag up, they'd arrest me. I say that's bone, mate. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so what I did was drop some dust under there and drop some super glue inside, and it's filled the hole nicely. The nut is sitting superb, it's secure, it's a flat nut on the bottom. But yeah, fantastic. I've just carved into that a little with my nut slotting files, just to bring the action right down above the first fret, really low above the first fret, and the guitar plays absolutely beautifully. It is solid, it looks good. What I will do in the future is I've taken, because I've leveled the frets, there's not a lot of fret wire there. I mean, it's about 1 millimetre, probably just under 1 millimetre. I'll be thinking in a couple of years time this is going to need a refret, and if that's the case, we should maybe just shim this neck back just a little. It's just a little bit. Actually, it looks quite straight now. If it is going back, it's going back an nth of a millimetre, so it's not bad at all. So I'm really, really quite pleased. I could show you the neck there. Beautiful. Probably one of the straightest necks I've done it in recent times. It's probably definitely the least amount of relief, apart from I would say Jim's guitars, because he has no relief in his necks. So very good to say we're buzz free. We're about 1.7 above the 12th fret on the low E, about 1.5 millimetres above the 12th fret on the high E. So really nice action, very easy to play. It has Elixir 1046 nano web strings on, as do his other guitars. This is a third of Adam's guitars I've done in the last couple of days. And this one's finished, it's ready to go back, so I'm going to contact him, let him know the guitar's ready, and he can come and fetch it. So another project done. Just let you look one more time. Oh yeah, and what guitar is this, by the way? I'm really not quite sure. I will have to look in my book, because I always write things down when someone comes around, brings a guitar, write down the date they arrive, what the guitar is and what it needs doing. And this one says Strat setup 70s Jap clone. Is that the right one? No, the red one doesn't say anything. The red Strat is just we don't know. It's not a Jap clone. This is an unknown body with a no-name neck, bought off eBay for about £70–80. It did need a fret level, but it looks fantastic, doesn't it? So it's a no-name neck, no one knows the body, it has lace sensor pickups in there, the electrics are all working fine, a little bit of scratching on the switch, I've got some switch cleaner in there, that is alright now. The tones and the volumes work, and it does have the Delta tone mod, where the tone actually works on the bridge pickup. Normally with a Strat, you've got your neck tone there, and you've got your middle tone there. No tone on the bridge, but what we do is we clip a wire on the 5-way from there to this tone, and it gives us a tone on the tone for the middle, then also becomes a tone on the bridge. It's called a Delta mod. You can stick a no load pot in the last tone there, but we don't really need to bother with that. So that is it, another one finished, and it looks really, really good. And I know that Adam really likes this guitar. He's going to like it even more now this next song, because the neck is beautiful. So 3 different guitars from Adam, 3 different necks, all of them brilliant in their own way. But like I say, another one finished. So just before I sign off, I remind you to go and check my website, facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. facebook.com/NG17. That's my postcode, by the way, NG17. That's where I got that from. Anyway, another one done. So I'll sign off. My name is Victor Christian. I am your fret friend. And until next time, boys and girls, as always, be good to each other. And I hope to see you soon.